Hello, co-reporters and newbies. Listen, you know that I've been trying my best to avoid all Jenelle Evans and David Eason content for a really long time. I've succeeded in it. It's been months since I've done like a dedicated video to them. Outside of that video, I did with the Borat meme. But I couldn't resist. They need to fade into obscurity. So that's why I avoid them. But this story is just too damn funny. So the Sun got an exclusive interview with the disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans about that spin-off special that they're shooting with the Teen Mom girls, the therapy-based one. Remember, Jenelle went on TikTok to whine about not being included. She says that they were kind of like teasing her about like the possibility of her being on the show. And then they kind of just like stopped responding to her. Well, she just revealed the official reason why the production company ultimately wound up ghosting her. And it is just so peak Jenelle, right? So here is the headline from today's Sun article. I'm going to post a link to it in the description box down below. Teen mom Jenelle Evans says she was rejected from spinoff after she asked to bring disgraced husband David Eason to set. Like, how? I'm sorry. How dumb can you possibly be to continue fumbling bags over your unemployed deadbeat husband? It's crazy to me how much this woman is willing to lose for this man who brings literally nothing to the table. In fact, they lost custody of all of their kids for a little bit, for a month at least, for a couple of months. Because of this man. They needed an emergency intervention because of this man. And she is still continuing to not only be with him, but to fumble bags on his behalf. It is crazy. So she basically says in the interview with The Sun that production had talked to her about the idea of her being on the show and everything. And so she goes, well, I'll do it, but I need for David to be able to stay like in a hotel up the street or something like that in case SHIT hits the fan. Jenelle, you are a sneeze away from 30. Like, you really cannot handle working by yourself as a grown woman without your emotional support dog killing husband with you. Like, what is the deal? This is embarrassing, sis, that you would fumble this back. Like, it's not even just the short term, which is her getting the quick money for being on the show. It's the long term. Her being back on the television screen opens her back up to more opportunities to make money, more followers. Like, there are a lot of crazy delusional people here in the world, even people who watch my videos, who like Jenelle and who believe that she's a good person and that she's a good mother and that her husband is a good father, despite all of them, both of them losing custody of all of their kids at some point. And so, being back on TV would have re-legitimized her to a certain extent. And she needed that kind of, revitalization of her image. And she ultimately just ended up, kind of crapping away the opportunity, so to speak, and to add insult to injury, these people did not even tell her no explicitly. They just ghosted her. And to me, just goes to show how much, everyone sees her as the lost cause that she is. They say, you know what, this girl is hopeless. She doesn't even deserve a response at this point. So they just kind of left her on red and went about their day and actually got Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom OG to go along. One thing I want to say that's very interesting about this is, okay, first of all, let's back it up. The whole reason why David Eason is not allowed on, on this set and, is persona non grata is because he caused a lot of issue for production on Teen Mom 2. The crew was terrified of him, because he would constantly be threatening them. Like, she had to shoot in different states so that they didn't have to be around this man. So why would she even fix her face, her mouth, her fingers to type up this dumb question? Like, are you well, sis? These are the same producers who had fired him from Teen Mom 2 long ago. Like, what is going on with you? You know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous that she would even think to ask this and to even be surprised that no one even, dignified her stupidity with a response. So one thing I really want to point out in this is that, isn't it interesting that Jenelle can't go anywhere without this man, right? Like she's always asking for this man to be around. Like she makes filming difficult when she was still on Teen Mom 2 because he wasn't allowed to be around, et cetera, et cetera. But you never saw this from her when it came to any of her kids. You know, even when her children were newborn, she was never like, oh, sorry, I can't do this and be away from my child. I can't do this. That she was always gung ho and ready at the drop of a dime. She could push her child out and be out and away from it to do whatever, 5 minutes later. But when it comes to David, no, she can't do it, and this is nothing against like, working mothers and whatever, like, but Jenelle in particular, I find it particularly interesting that she's never had an issue being away from her kids or anything like that. I've never, ever heard her say she can't do anything because she needs to be there for her kids. And it's too soon to leave them, or she just doesn't want to, or anything like that. But when it comes to David, she can't do anything without him being around. Like to me, that says a lot about her and her character and, the issues that she has and the troubling dynamic of their codependent and what I would personally, in my opinion, consider to be, their abusive relationship and marriage as well. It's weird. It's very weird. And the fact that this David Eason guy who acts like he's this big macho man, like, the embodiment of hegemonic masculinity is so obsessed with the fame from a show called Teen Mom and is so desperate to follow this woman around everywhere and try to get at least a little bit of attention and camera time. It's a joke. It's laughable to me, and that he doesn't even bring in his own money or anything like that, like any money or anything like that. And yet he's always running around on the internet claiming that he is the man of all men. Sure, Jen. Guys, how do you feel about Dum Dum, Boo Boo the Fool over here, passing up on the opportunity to be on a This is going to be a big spinoff because this is going to be the first time that we see a show that actually legitimately is a hybrid of, Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom 2, and Teen Mom 3. This is something that people have been asking for a long time, like a Big Brother version of the show where everybody's kind of brought in together or something like that, or a real world version or something like that. It's finally about to be delivered. And Boo Boo the Fool missed out on her opportunity to be on a revitalization of MTV's biggest franchise. God, she's got to be kicking herself. She claims in the interview, she goes, oh, like, I'm happy that, like, they ghosted me and made that decision for me or whatever. You know what, sis? I'm happy that they did too, because one thing, well, there are many things in the world that Jenelle Evans does not deserve, but one thing in particular I will say is fame and attention and an audience. Anyway, you guys, that's it. The cat is out of the bag. The official reason why Jenelle, disgraced former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans, was not allowed to be featured on this new Teen Mom hybrid therapy show. Are you surprised? Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.